Hey everyone, welcome to this video walkthrough on writing the SAT essay, brought to you by Bullet Education Resources at bulleter.com. In part 1 of 2, we'll cover how to plan your essay, choose effective examples, write your introduction, and develop your first body paragraph. But first, the legal disclaimer. The SAT is a registered trademark of the College Entrance Examination Board, which was not involved in and does not endorse the production of this video. Alright, let's get started. The essay section is the very first section of every single SAT. Basically, the test gives you a prompt and asks you to take and support a position. You'll have 25 minutes to come up with an essay. 2 graders will then score your essay from 1 to 6, and their scores will be added together for a total score out of 12. The essay is about 1/3 of your total writing section grade, so it's really important to do well. Here, we'll show you how to accomplish just that with a 5-step approach to writing the essay. The structure we'll use will follow a 4-paragraph format with 2 examples. We'll jump right into the method now. As soon as you get the prompt, read it over once or twice, then take 2 to 3 minutes to plan your essay. Don't panic if it takes you a bit longer than that. Just focus on 3 main questions. First, answer the question given in the prompt. Almost always, prompts will ask you to pick between 2 sides. Decide what your position is on the issue. Then, narrow that broader topic down and talk about a specific, smaller aspect of the given prompt. We'll go through an example later on to make this more clear. Finally, decide on 2 examples that you'll use to support your argument throughout the essay. These are extremely important, and we'll talk more about choosing them in just a second. So, how do you choose your examples? Try to choose 1 example dealing with current events or history and 1 example dealing with literature. The most important thing about choosing examples is to be specific. Don't choose The Great Gatsby as an example. Talk about the parties that Jay Gatsby throws and how aloof he is. Don't talk about World War I. Talk about the assassination of Franz Ferdinand that initiated the conflict. Be as specific as you can. Before the essay even starts, research some examples that you can talk about. A decent number to cover you for most situations would be 2 to 3 current events, 3 to 4 historic events, and 4 to 5 pieces of literature. You can then pick out specific aspects of these to talk about in your essay. Also, try to avoid using personal examples unless you have a really excellent ones. These are easily made up, and so they're usually considered weaker. Finally, and this is really important to keep in mind, be familiar with the examples. The more specific and detailed you can be in describing them, the stronger your essay will be. Here's the example prompt we'll be using throughout the rest of this video. Which is more important, personally fulfilling or high-paying work? Given this prompt, we'll come up with the 3 points of our plan, answering the 3 questions mentioned earlier. For our position, we choose to argue in favor of personally fulfilling work. Narrowing this down even further, we're going to look specifically at those who are wealthy but find no fulfillment in their own wealth. We'll define important as giving a sense of personal achievement. For our examples, we'll use Andrew Carnegie and his life of philanthropy, as well as Huckleberry Finn and his decision to throw away his inherited fortune and venture down the river in Mark Twain's The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Once you have your plan, your introduction should be fairly easy to write. The easiest and best way to write a sophisticated introduction is to use the CABE or CABE format, standing for contradiction, assertion, because, examples. Your first sentence will summarize the opposite side of what you want to say, using a phrase like, some people believe that blank. This will lead to your assertion, where you use however, followed by your own position. You then specify the narrower point you address, referring back to your plan in a because statement. Finally, you name the 2 examples you've just chosen. For this, say specifically what the examples are and use strong verbs. Don't just say this is shown through history and literature. Here's an example using our earlier prompt and plan. The first sentence presents the opposite view, that high-paying work is better. Notice how it says the prosperity is considered the ultimate goal in many pursuits. We then present our own view. Prosperity cannot be considered achievement, indicating that we're arguing in favor of fulfilling work. Notice the use of the word however to transition from the contradiction to the assertion. We then use the narrower idea part of the plan to form our because statement. Remember that we chose to talk about wealthy individuals who get fulfillment elsewhere. That's shown here. Those who achieve great wealth often discover that fulfilling work provides a deeper sense of achievement. And we end with the examples, Carnegie and Finn. Look at the specificity we're using here. We're not talking just about Carnegie, but his philanthropic acts. We're not talking just about Huckleberry Finn. We're looking specifically at his river escapades. Your introduction will be followed by 2 body paragraphs. The first sentence of the first body paragraph should be the topic sentence, which is just a short 1-sentence introduction of the example. From there, you can go on to describe the story of your example, giving information and facts. This is your chance to impress the grader. Put in as many specific details as you can, but keep it on topic and supportive of your overall point. The more specific you can be, the better. After the information, link the example back to your introduction and main argument. Many students forget to do this, and it really hurts their essay, so make sure you connect everything back to your overall point. Really, the difference between high-scoring essays and low-scoring essays comes almost completely in the body paragraphs. The number 1 golden rule for writing high-scoring essays is to keep these 3 words in mind: specific, detailed, relevant. You want to go through a specific and detailed exploration of each example, making sure that it is well connected to the argument you put into your introduction. Again, I can't emphasize this enough. This is by far the most important portion of the essay. Alright, so here's an example of a body paragraph. The topic sentence is just introducing topic, telling the reader that this is a historical example about Andrew Carnegie and his incredible wealth. Through the next few sentences, we're telling Carnegie's story. Notice all the details we include. We have his origin from modest beginnings. We have his steel empire, U.S. Steel. We even put in a key vocabulary word with vertical integration to add in a deeper level of detail. Remember the golden rule, specific and detailed. That's what we're looking to achieve here. This backstory leads up to the main climax where he sells off his company and becomes devoted to charity. Going on, we finish by linking back to the main argument. Remember, our narrower point was that really wealthy people find achievement in fulfilling work. Here we talk about how Carnegie actually used his wealth for growing education and science. Again, we're including another specific detail to help the case, the naming of Carnegie Mellon University. We end by recapping our major point of the paragraph, connecting to this thesis. Despite all of Carnegie's previous prosperity, only his charity work was truly fulfilling. Thanks everyone for listening. Check out our part 2 video. We continue with techniques for writing the second body paragraph, concluding your essay, and improving your writing style.